Happy New Year's, YouTube. Welcome back to Project Bumble Jeep. Um, this is New Year's Day. Actually, after after 7 o'clock, New Year's Day night, evening, whatever. So anyhow, yeah, I don't know what I was thinking when I took all that stuff down to the car wash to clean it. Um, it's not the warmest time of year, so I don't know why I thought I'd be putting that stuff in yesterday, but I didn't. No surprise there. So anyhow, this is New Year's Day um, catch up, whatever video. And show you. There you go. Got the new carpet stripped out. Um, Man, I can't get over how much car washes charge just to pull in and drop some quarters in and wash some stuff. um, I usually, when I take the Bumble Jeep in there, I go through the automatic, I pay the $10 and get the bottom washed off at the same time. And it's a brushless car wash. Not that that would bother me. um, if it was brushes, I would probably get a little bit cleaner, at least on the top side, but I like the idea of having the bottom side reasonably clean, keeping the bottom side reasonably clean. So anyhow, I'm gonna put in the rear carpet tonight, um, and I want to show. Excuse me. I want to show you. Wow. I want to show you how stuff turned out. Um, so I'm gonna pause this for a second, set things up a little bit different, and then we'll get right back. Okay, we're back, and just a quick note. Let's start with the seat back, the rear seat back. So this is the rear seat back. You can see it cleaned up really good. There's no rips or tears in the material. It's all in good shape. It's actually came out pretty clean. It's too bad I don't like this color. So anyhow, long story short on these, I'm going to be putting the seat covers on. Now, I'll take you over here to the rear bottom seat. And now I'm not sure how that's going to show up on camera. I won't know until I get you uploaded, but the bottom did not clean up as well as the top. Or did it? When I was in the car wash, for some reason, this looked like dirt. And I blasted the living snot out of it, and I couldn't get this to go away. So my plan was, at that point, when I ran out of quarters and time, my plan was to get it back here, pull the cover off, throw it in the washer, and wash it in the washing machine. And then I noticed, and I don't know if you can notice it too, there's vinyl dye on some of the gray plastic. And you'll never see this because, well, first of all, it's getting a seat cover on it. But second of all, this is at the back of the seat. So, yeah. Anyhow, it turns out that's not dirt. That is my attempt. I was going to try and dye this material with the spray vinyl and fabric dye, and it just was not covering. I think this little bit that I did right here on the back and on the material here, there's probably at least a half a can of dye. So I figured by the time I got this covered enough to make it change color, dye is not cheap. It's like $7-8 a can, and it's the what's that stuff called? Duplicolor. It's an excellent product. Don't get me wrong. I mean, here's one of the door panels. This is the driver's side rear door panel. And I don't know if you can get it in frame, but this is the carpet accent on the bottom of the panel, and it's low. You're not going to see it, but that was sprayed with the dye, and it got a little nappy, but it disguises the gray pretty well. But I mean, as far as the vinyl itself, like this was all gray. The handle was all gray. The vinyl dye did an excellent job on this. And just, feel free to ask questions if you want to in the comments. But just so you know, all these interior panels were removed to be sprayed. I have both the rear doors open right now because I'm getting ready to drop that carpet in, but you can see that the spray, yeah, that's not good. That'll cover up. I don't remember what I think it's undercoating. But, and of course, it's been on long enough now. I did this when I first got over here in August of 2018. This was probably some of the first stuff I did on the Jeep, was dyeing the interior panels. So anyhow, as I was saying, I'm going to get the original carpet back in. I'll turn the camera around one more time. This is the original carpet, and aside from an oil stain, which if I'd have been thinking, I would have sprayed with like mean green or 409 or some sort of carpet stain remover. I could have even softened it up with like lacquer thinner. Actually, I could probably take lacquer thinner to that on a rag and get a lot of that out, which I may do. And you can see there's still like some straw in the material, but overall, I mean, the carpet is in really good shape. And the difference between this carpet and the aftermarket carpet that I got to put in here is it's going to fall over, the backing. And I'm not talking about this soundproofing there. I'm talking about the rubber backing on the carpet, which is what makes it so durable in an automotive environment. The water stays in the nap until it evaporates or dries off. It doesn't get through to the metal. Now, what does get through is if you get moisture underneath and it gets soaked up in the sound deadening material, and then that lays damp against the metal on your floor. That'll rot your floor from the inside. This is the new piece for the inside, and yeah, I know the 70s called and they want their carpet back. This has to be cleaned before I put it back in, but the backing on this, it may be waterproof, but it's nowhere near as durable as that on the OEM. And what they do with these, it's kind of hard to tell, and just looking at it on camera here, but this needs trimmed big time, and I don't want to mess it up. So I think the easiest thing to do as far as cutting it to fit will be to put that carpet back in, get it all in place, and that at some point in the future, which isn't going to be tonight, I will mark it and then lay this on top of the original carpet in the Jeep, so everything's kind of held where it needs to be. And I'll pause this in just a few minutes and get that in there, and then you can see how it lays in there. But anyhow, I digress as usual. Once that carpet is back in, at some point in the future, I will lay this down over top of it and mark it and trim it so it fits, and then I'll swap out. I also have a new piece for the front, and I'm hoping I can find a decent shop vac in here tonight, because the front carpet, I don't want to take it out right now. I do want to replace it. I have new carpet for the front that matches that, but it needs a good hosing off, a good cleaning, and we'll get to that at some point. Just a quick note on the dash. You notice the center section of the dash there is the original color, while everything else around it has been changed. The reason for that is all those other panels were fairly easily removed. I mean, this came off, this piece came off, the under dash piece that goes all the way across the bottom comes off fairly easily, once you take the console out. And the console's just sitting there right now. Even this upper piece comes out fairly easily. That is a monster to get out. And so I'm just going to leave that alone. I mean, at some point, maybe. And yes, I know I still need to get another airbag in here. So anyhow, I'm going to, it's going to be weird because I'm going to put that seat cover on tonight and take this one off to wash it. So it's gotten a little stained up for various reasons. So anyhow, they're easily removed. And so, how do you like how nice and smooth those doors close on this? So anyhow, not getting anything done while I'm talking to you guys. Quit distracting me, would you? So I'm going to pause you at this point. I'm going to throw that carpet back in, and then I have another little project for tonight. I'll tell you about it after I get that in. I don't know if I don't think I'm putting the seats back in tonight. I want them to dry a little more before I put the seat covers on them, and I have a ton of bolts and stuff to chase down before, and I have them all. They're all stored in that back room there. I have probably every nut and bolt that I've taken off of this thing, and there's quite a few of them. I got like 3, I use the liners for the cups on a gravity spray gun, and they're the full 1 quart. So I got 2 or 3 of those full, plus there's a handful of parts laying around elsewhere that I need to put this interior back together. I may get to the plastic panels, at least these 2 in the back here. The front, everything's all painted. All the rest of the panels are painted. The ones that aren't in are like these down here. And the kick panels in the front aren't in. That drives me cuckoo. Short drive. But these are out. And the ones that, cover all of this, they're out, but they're all painted. I didn't want to put them, I don't know that I'm going to put those back in until I'm ready to swap out the carpet. So, but I mean, look how nice that door panel came out with just vinyl dye. I like this color so much better than that slate blue, gray, whatever they call it. And those seat covers, they kind of match the whole theme of the Bumble Jeep. Oh, I don't know if I ever showed you this. Real quick, and then I'll put the carpet in. I'm stalling. I'm really not in the mood to work tonight. There you go. That's what's going on this. So, all right. Here we go. I'm back. Sorry. So I'm going to put you guys down. Put the phone down. It amounts to the same thing. So I'm going to put you guys down and get the carpet back in the back. And I maybe throw those panels in, the 2 back panels. And then I'll resume and we'll see. I'll tell you what the next little project is for tonight. So be back in a flash. All right, we're back on the air. So it's weird. I am still not used to this whole recording thing, digital or otherwise. I've used regular format camcorders back in the day, and we had a 8mm camcorder because I thought that's the way everybody was going, and of course I jumped the wrong way. But okay, so start here. I'm at my toolbox. I'll turn you around here. So I got that painted and on. That looks pretty okie dokie, and you can see what I mean already about stuff landing on there because it's a workbench or table or whatever. So all right, we're gonna duck back through here. Um, this is a storage room here at the shop. Ooh, we got one of those. Cool. Why didn't I know about that when I was doing the work on my diffs? Anyhow, so here's a lot of the supplies that I used. The remaining panels, which I'm not putting in tonight. The seat belts, which I'm not putting in tonight. And I have another one of these sitting around here someplace. This is just nuts and bolts off the Jeep. Now, some of this bigger stuff is from the original, not original, from the first down and dirty front bumper I had put on this thing, the one that got destroyed in the last accident in middle of May of 19. So I got that one. I got another one. There's odds and ends of parts in here. There's odds and ends of parts in here. But this is the rest of the interior panels. These are the roof strips. I do have a luggage rack for this thing that I am going to be putting back on because I like to kayak and have a kayak, and I need the racks on to transport. But this is the material that I ordered in that headliner kit. This is some of the leftover scraps, and you can see it's got the foam backing. It's pretty good stuff. I mean, I wouldn't say it's top quality. I only paid $115 for the whole kit to redo the headliner, and that was a long enough piece to do the headliner with enough left over to wrap the speaker bar and to do the visors, which I tried, didn't like the outcome, so I went and ended up, like I said, getting aftermarket, or not aftermarket, salvage yard. So this is the last piece, one of the last pieces for the interior. But I mean, look at this. This is that Duplicolor vinyl, plastic, and cloth dye, and this would hold up really good. Now I'm not expecting it to hold up, like till the end of the world or anything like that, because I didn't go crazy on the prep. I didn't scuff it. I didn't put any kind of primer on it. I just cleaned it up real good with lacquer thinner, wiped it down real good with lacquer thinner or wax and grease, I don't even remember at this point, and then sprayed it. And what's in there, like on the doors and stuff, is holding up really well. I'll turn you around again. So these are the rocker tread plates. They're going to get cleaned up, and then they'll be sprayed like this one was. Just spray it down with 409 and a scrub brush and rinse it off real good and let it dry off, and then spray it with just a black, not that. Oh, sorry, I'm not even pointing the camera in the right place. None of this stuff, just, some sort of Rust-Oleum primer or black gloss. I like the look of it. And like I said, I had put new rocker panels on this back when I first got it, or shortly after I first got it. So, all the panels are in the truck, so I'm going to kill the light here because I'm done back here for tonight. Where were you when they turned out the lights? So we're going to go back out here. I'm going to turn you around a couple more times to show you what's going on. So, okay, the carpet's in, the trim panels, they're in, but they're not screwed in. I'm not screwing them in, and like I said, I'm not putting the seats in tonight, but, they look okay. I'm not crazy about the gray. I think this would go better with that orange, Mandarin orange 70s. Give me my carpet back. But so we're gonna go around to the front of the Jeep, and I'm gonna show you what my next project is for tonight. So I've been having issues with these headlights. These are Amazon headlights. They were the least expensive Okay, I'll say it, the cheapest ones I could find on Amazon, and I'm talking about the headlights here. See, it's plastic. But for some reason, I'm going to turn the headlights on, and you'll see. Now these are adjusted all the way down, as far as they'll go on the adjustment screws, and that's as low as I can get them. But this is what happens when I put the high beams on. Those are the high beams. They're pointing down below. So I think, we'll see if we can catch it on the camera. I think, now you'll notice, hopefully, let me get down on one knee here. It says top, right there. And they're both in the same way. It says top. So I am not sure if the plugs are wired backwards or if the front lens is on upside down from the factory, wherever in China that may be. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull the bezels and I'm going to pop them out of there and turn them upside down and try and readjust. I mean, I don't know, can you see the angle on that bulb? How far it's pointed down and where the lights are shining on that door? So anyhow, we're going to try and no, I don't have a leprechaun in my pocket. I'm going to try and get this addressed tonight, and then that's going to call it a night. So there you have it. That's a quick little project I'm going to be doing. So let's get to it. Okie dokie. So they're turned upside down, or maybe they're right side up, who knows, we'll see. So I'm going to turn you around here. Yeah, the bezels are still off, but the bulbs are now, the headlights are now turned upside down in their sockets. You can see it says top right there and it's upside down. So you're going along for the first test. I haven't even fired them up yet. Let's see what happens. And I did adjust the tops in. That's lower already. Ooh, I like it. Me likey. But those high beams are going to blind somebody. So let's adjust them down a little bit. Try out one of my Christmas presents. I hope that ain't blinding you guys, because it's sure blinding me. Alright. And I'm going to pull this in a little bit to this side. And I'm going to pull this one out. Alright, let's see where the high beams are now. Man, that's still high. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll fire the camera up quick before on my way back to the apartment and see. So, alright, so for now I'm just gonna pause you guys again and put this back together, shut this place down, or put my tools away, shut this place down, and then I will, like I said, I'll pause it and then we'll put you up in the dash mount and you can see the end results of all of this. So Be back in a flash with no cash. Okay, I don't know how much of this you're going to see, but I'm going to pull out into the parking area here, and that's low beams as it is now. Not happy with that. I think it's a little low. And that's high beam, and I think it looks a little cross-eyed to me, so I'm going to have to adjust this left one, driver's side one, back out a little bit. And what's that? Oh, that's farm equipment. So anyhow, that's it for tonight. I'll try and get both of these uploaded, the one from New Year's Eve and New Year's Eve day, and this one from New Year's night. I have the spots on the front. Let's see how that makes it with the low beams. Okay, that's low beams, and I think that's just too low. So let's put the spots on. That's not bad. You can tell when this thing's cold, man, it runs perfect. And just for the record, the manifold temperature sensor did not fix the problem. So, all right, well, I'm gonna turn this around and sign off, and you'll see me when you see me. All right, good night.